What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'm going to be going over my top pocket knives of the week. These are going to be the knives that I carried last week, talking a little bit about them and kind of giving you an in-between update from the initial review and the long-term review. Having said all that, let's go ahead and jump into the knives that were in my pocket this week. First up is going to be the Vosteed Raccoon. This is a very interesting button lock knife. 14C 28N blade steel, really nice. It looks like a hand satin finish. Up and down grind lines, really nice looking on there, and it actually does, I have found, help prevent fingerprints from being on there. So I'm carrying this so I can conduct my thoughts and do an initial review for you guys. This is a very well done button lock by Vosteed. It has the black micarta reversible fold over pocket clip. It's not quite deep carry, but I have found it goes in and out of the pocket nicely, and it leaves very minimal knife hanging out or handle hanging out after you put it in the pocket. Thumb studs are done very well on this. It has pretty good action, and I like the detent on this one. Very hard to fail. So look for the full review coming on this one. This is just, again, a little bit of a sneak peek as I carry the knife and try to get my thoughts and impressions together. So that was what was in the pocket on Monday for Micarta Monday. Tuesday, I went with a Titanium Tuesday carry, and that is going to be the Kungwu X-Tao full titanium pocket knife with the modified Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip that I put on here. I basically had to just thin out the feet on this a little bit to make this fit. And then I did do an anodize to try to match it up to the thumb studs and the lanyard barrel. I really like this one a lot. Very impressive build for the money. You're getting Elmax steel on a very nice tall flat ground blade. It is a thick geometry, but it does come down to a pretty decent edge. It's not the thinnest edge I've ever seen, but it does cut really well. I can see that I'm going to be ready to go ahead and put my own edge on here. It came with a very thin edge bevel on the knife, and it does cut really good straight down, but if you are off in the littlest bit, it doesn't want to slice as nice. It'll hang up sometimes. So I am going to put my own edge on here. It does have the finish on the actual titanium that you can feel. See, it's dimpled. It's like almost like a peel ply, but not quite. And then it has very beautiful milling all throughout the handles. Nice and thick too. Feels really good in the larger hands, really filling. You can even choke up a little bit for those push cuts. And those thumb ramps, really like those. You kind of just push into them and it flies right out. So like that. So far, the crossbar lock on this one has worked really well, and the action on the bearings is fantastic. Not much more I can say about this one. Check out the full review. They do periodic drops. So if it is out of stock, all you have to do is sign up for notifications for when it comes in stock, and then you can grab one. I did see that they had the carbon fiber version out there, and the carbon fiber version, for whatever reason, directly takes the titanium fold over clip from Lynch Northwest. But the carbon fiber, was I saying titanium? The carbon fiber takes the titanium clip directly, but the titanium one, tolerance is a little bit different. You do have to just grind down those feet just a little bit for that to fit. Wednesday, I went with a Wharncliffe Wednesday, and I carried the Penguin Plus. These are in stock at Blue Creek Knife. I have a link down there, so if you want to go over there and grab one, you can. Really nice knife. I like this a lot. Way better than the regular Penguin. Obviously, it's a more premium build, but I like the size. Fits in hand nicely. Nice and full. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I want to eliminate the flipper tab. Sometimes I like having that there, and then there's other times where when I'm actually in use with the knife and I want to choke up, the angle of this makes me nervous, like I'm going to slip. I know I'm push cutting and it shouldn't be a problem because all the force is coming back into the hand, but I do worry a little bit about that angle on that flipper tab, and then I like having it for the deployment. So kind of going back and forth on this, but really great option for the money. If you think about what you're paying, you're getting a titanium frame lock on ceramic bearings with 20 CV, really nice utility blade shape, lots of cutting edge. It is thin, but it's not so thin where I don't enjoy the comfort in hand. It's a very pleasant experience holding onto the knife to use it. The lock bar access is really nice, good lockup. The lock stick that it had initially when I got it is going away. I do need to do the disassembly so I can go ahead and clean it up, oil and lube the knife, and show you how that goes. I can probably get rid of the rest of the oil that did get onto the lock bar when I do the disassembly. But that was in there for Wharncliffe Wednesday. Really nice knife, and again, very good price point, and QSP is absolutely killing it with the build quality. It's just impressive. These two knives, what you pay for what you get, super impressive builds. On Thursday, I went with a thumb stud titanium Thursday carry, and that is going to be the Chris Reeve Knives Umanzan. Decided to take the lanyard off, and not only do I like the way that it looks better, but I didn't actually realize how much it actually gets in the way when you're holding the knife. It's completely changed the ergonomic feel on the back side of my hand. While I really thought that this was great in hand, absolutely no issues, I didn't realize how much the actual lanyard kind of pushed into my palm, and it's actually even more comfortable, if you can believe that, in hand when using it. Now, one of the things that did develop is because this is over top of the titanium on where it connects, it actually rotates around and it has a little bit of lip. I did stick initially a little bit of lithium grease on there so you don't hear it when you're just walking. You hear just a little bit of tap. But what I'm going to end up doing is I'm actually going to end up taking a piece of lanyard and I'm just going to actually melt it straight down and smush it so it's contoured to the scale, to the barrel, and then rotate it so that you can't really see it sticking out the back like you can here. The reason I want to do that is because I do like the little bit of pop of color that blue lanyard barrel provides with the knife, and I kind of want to keep that there, and it doesn't really need any additional hardware. It's locked in tight, feels really good, great access to the lock bar, has that smooth Chris Reeve knife, phosphor bronze action. It's really meant to be slow rolled and slow closed. Mine has broken in where I still have it kind of tight because I wanted it to be centered. I found like if I backed it out anymore, it was just slightly off centered. But if you give it a little bit of muscle, it does kick open. And I've carried this enough to where it should have broken in at this point if I wanted it to. So I could play with it a little bit more, but I wanted to kind of keep it more centered and compromise a little bit less like I did on my Nkosi. My Nkosi was almost fall shut, but it was favoring the show side scale just a little bit. It's not awful, but this one I wanted to keep centered up. Anyway, that is the Thursday carry, thumb stud Thursday. This is the RGT pocket clip. I forget to mention that, I think, sometimes. That is the RGT Rips Garage Gear Tech, I think. They make these where you can get them anodized by them, you can get them blacked out, you can get them raw. They also do some of the Zircotai, maybe Mokatai, I'm not quite sure. I know that they have some other options for the colorways with this one, but I just wanted to get it myself so I could anodize to kind of match the backspacer, so I did this one myself. Friday, I did a Flipper Friday. I grabbed the ProTech Mordax, really enjoying this one. Again, enjoying it so much that I actually did go ahead and decide to finally let go of my Malibu, which I really loved. But I just like the size of this so much, and the cutting performance on it is really good. It slices well, cuts well, does everything that I ask of it very well. I know I've seen other reviewers say that it's just a little too robust for them behind the edge. They want it to be thinner, but I honestly have not had any issues whatsoever with the cutting performance with this going through any materials that I like to cut through. And just a quick demonstration on paper. It does have good bite, so I have no issues with it. Keep in mind, I've been using that one a little bit more. I'm gonna set it down for a second. I've been using it a little bit more, so I haven't stropped it, which I usually like to strop after use. But I've been here lately with the holidays, things coming in. I've been getting into boxes, breaking down boxes, and trying to do that while I work and stuff. And I just didn't have the time to strop it down. I think a little bit of a strop would make that edge even smoother. Right now you could hear just a little bit of tear, but I like that because right now it has just a little bit of bite going on with it. So it's performing really well. Beautiful stone wash on here. The only thing that I've kind of noticed that I never really hit on before is they did thin it out a lot at the tip. It's really thin out here, and you can feel and see where that grind line changes on there. And I know I've never really hit on it before, but I am noticing it more and more in certain lights where you can just see that it's got that line where it just dropped out on the tip. Action's really, really nice. Again, the only complaints, the flipper tab's a little bit pokey right there when you're trying to use that finger twirl for the first knuckle for me to get in there for any type of detailed work, like if you're just getting into a package from the side or something like that. I definitely cannot choke up because I end up right on that point, and if I tried to actually fit in there, I'm actually resting right against the blade's edge. So it's kind of like a knuckle choil more so than it is the full finger, but that's okay because it does have a nice grip, and I have found like when I'm actually cutting through, it does control very nicely in the hand because of the geometry of the knife. Button lock has just a hint of stick. I like a little bit of stick. Lets me know, even if it's not audible, I can definitely tell that the tolerances are going to be tight and that I should not develop any type of lock rock. Great spring tension on this one. Again, the button's recessed. You're not bumping into it as you try to grip. Even if you're trying to hold it left-handed, it's in the right spot where it's not going to get in the way. Even if you choke up, it's still going to sit underneath the scale enough to where you're not going to hit it and you don't have to worry about it coming loose. Pocket clip works really well. No need to upgrade that. Carries, goes in and out of the pocket nicely, and it doesn't interrupt the ergonomics. So fantastic knife. That's it. My carries for this past week. Really enjoyed it. Very monochromatic and blacked out a little. Not a lot of color in this week's carry, but I did enjoy my carries, and I am enjoying these knives. A lot of very interesting knives to me on the table. Let me know what you have in your pockets. What's most interesting to you and what you've been enjoying the most? Have you experienced the raccoon, the towel? Have you picked up the Penguin Plus? Love to hear your thoughts on that. I appreciate all the support. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And thanks to everyone out there who is regularly supporting the channel and leaving comments and likes. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. And until next time, peace.